Greetings, Phillies and Genocles. I'm Onyx the Dragon, and welcome to another episode of Character Study. Today we've got ourselves another Fallout Equestria OC. Meet Rainrunner. But perhaps there's a better place to do a review than out in the open. Quick disclaimer, I haven't read the fanfic which this character is from, so I may not be perfect in my critique. That said, let's begin. Rainrunner was created as the result of Project Legacy, a pre-war project which is intended to preserve the DNA of the Ministry Mirrors, aka the Main Six. After her creation, Rainrunner was placed in stasis in Stable 112 for just over 2 centuries, dodging the war above in the process. In stasis, she was raised in a simulation Ponyville by a simulation Rainbow Dash, who also served as Rainrunner's genetic basis IRL. Rain was the last pony to be released from the stable, from which she received a pip buck, a pistol, and was sent on her way to Mare Springs, where she could become acclimated to the wastes. And it is here where I'll leave the backstory for fear of spoiling the fanfic. Being Rainbow Dash's daughter, and raised by a simulation of the same mare, Rainrunner has picked up on that brash impulsiveness which Rainbow possessed, but to a lesser extent, as Rain is more loath to think through her actions if given the opportunity. Part of me wonders if Rain's slightly less brash personality was formed naturally, or because of an imperfect simulation. Either are perfectly plausible, but the latter would be a nice touch of polish to the story if it could be incorporated beyond Rain's personality. For 2 centuries after a pseudo-nuclear war, Rainrunner is about what I would expect from the daughter of Rainbow Dash. Whether that's for better or for worse, let's find out. Get over here, I want to see what you taste like. After I get somewhere safer, of course. Well, this should buy me some time. Anyway, Rainrunner has a well-developed backstory. It somewhat reminds me of The Matrix, and it's very easy to get invested in. This quote from the OC's Wikia page should help illustrate my point. Remember that she was raised in a computer simulation, and that the life and ponies she thought she knew have been dead for 2 centuries by the time she exits stasis. With all that in mind, a backstory like this is something which I can get invested in. I want to find the answer to that question, and it makes me want to read the story to do that. If this is one of Rain's central character arcs, this should be immensely interesting to see unfold. Add the fact that she's acclimating to the wasteland while confronting this Matrix-like reality, and you have the potential for a very interesting character and story. But bear in mind that that is all on paper and not considering execution. You know, the part that actually counts. One thing I have to point out is her appearance. The only visual difference between Rainrunner and Rainbow Dash is Rainrunner's coat is a slightly darker shade of blue. Not that it isn't aesthetically pleasing, but it's unoriginal. Now I understand the genetic link between the two, but the similar appearance isn't necessary. Just look at the Cake family, for example. Secondly, the personalities are a little too similar. While I understand that she isn't quite as impulsive as Rainbow, one could very easily equate that to, oh, she isn't quite as magical as Twilight. The trick of, oh, it's not exactly the same, so it's not a ripoff, doesn't work. And yes, I am one to talk. Many would consider it a cop-out of trying to create an original character. Now, you could make the argument that she got her personality from being raised by a simulated Rainbow Dash, but most people don't actually grow up to be that similar to their parents, or parent. The point I'm making is that just because there's the link doesn't mean they have to be so similar. Take, for example, her inability to fly at the beginning of the story as opposed to Rainbow's natural talent. If we could have more dissimilarities like that, I think it'd help make the character feel more original. Alright, I need something flammable. Neither image of the character seems to have a cutie mark. Either one should be added, or we should see some sort of elaboration on this. If there was in the fanfic, you can ignore this bit. Otherwise, well, that's my opinion. Now this should work. Overall, Rainrunner is nicely developed, though it would be nice to see her take more departure from the obvious inspiration in Rainbow Dash. Things such as the personality and the visual design could be more unique, for example. I give Rainrunner a 5.38 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit the little bell by my name. This is Onyx the Dragon, signing out. 3, 2, 1.